The title of this story is There's a Boy in the Girls' Bathroom, and the author is Louis Satcher. The genre of this story is realistic fiction. The three main characters in this story are Bradley Chalkers, Jeff Fishkin, and Carla, and I'm going to talk a little bit about each of those. Bradley Chalkers is the main character in this story. He always sits in the last seat and the very last row of his classroom. Bradley also really doesn't have any friends, and he often feels like he's alone. And one other character trait about Bradley Chalkers is that he seems to be a bit of a bully. He really doesn't have many friends, and he even threatens the new kid at school, Jeff Fishkin, to spit on him if he doesn't give him $1. So between being sort of lonely, a bit of a bully, and always sitting in the last seat, the last row, Bradley has it kind of tough at school. Jeff Fishkin is the new student at school. He kind of struggles to find friends, and unfortunately, the only seat open in his classroom happens to be the one next to Bradley, which no one wanted to sit in anyway. Jeff eventually goes to meet with Carla, the counselor, so that he can get to know his new school. But on Jeff's way to meet the counselor, he accidentally stumbles upon the girls' bathroom, hence the title of the book, There's a Boy in the Girls' Bathroom. You'll see this is a comic that was created by a student that says, Jeff just entered the counselor's office. He's glad it's not the girls' bathroom. And here's Carla. Hello, you must be Jeff Fishkin. I've been expecting you. And you can see Jeff's face, he looks a little shy. This is not the girls' bathroom, I can tell. Carla is the guidance counselor at Bradley and Jeff's school. She always offers a helping hand, not just to Bradley and to Jeff, but to any student who needs help. She's really nice, and if you ask Bradley, he'll tell you that she tends to wear some really interesting sweatshirts and sweaters with some crazy patterns. So Carla's the guidance counselor. She wears kind of creative sweaters, but she's really nice and really forms a great friendship with both Bradley and Jeff. The setting of this story takes place in a few different areas. The first would be Bradley's elementary school. There's a lot of things that happen at Bradley's school, and there's a few main places where a lot of the events in the story take place. The first would be in Carla's office, which is where Bradley and Jeff and several other characters in the story actually meet with Carla and sort of talk through the plot. There's a lot of action that also happens on the playground out at recess at school. And then one of the other major areas for the setting would also be at Bradley's house. And more specifically, Bradley spends a lot of time in his bedroom where he writes letters and talks to some of his imaginary friends to kind of explain what's going on in the story. And that's the setting. The main problem in this story is that Bradley can be a bully and is not very good at doing any of his homework or making any friends. The solution to that problem is that Bradley meets Carla and Jeff, who both really help him to make friends and to eventually learn to believe in himself. The next part I want to talk about are the key events of There's a Boy in the Girls' Bathroom. The first real major event is when Bradley gets sent to Carla's office and first meets her. Carla is a major game changer in the book, and being able to meet with Carla and talk to her about all the things going on in Bradley's life is crucial to Bradley realizing how much potential he really has. And the second major event was when Jeff was sent to see Carla, and that's because not only does he become friends with Carla as well, but that's the same time he stumbles into the girls' bathroom. which also plays a factor in the rest of the book because while he's in there, he happens to run into a girl. And that particular girl sort of influences Jeff and Bradley's relationship. That also helps Jeff to meet Bradley and become friends because Bradley just thinks it is oh so cool that Jeff stumbled into the girls' bathroom and they immediately become friends. And the third key event that's really important to the plot of the story is Jeff starts to play basketball with some of the cooler kids, as Bradley refers to them. And when Jeff invites Bradley to play basketball with them, and Bradley realizes how much fun he's having, this is the turning point in the story where Bradley realizes how his character could be so different if he made better choices. So that's probably my favorite part in the entire story. But those are the three key events that really add to the plot of the story. The theme is the main idea that sort of circulates throughout a story when you read it. And I feel that there are two major themes in There's a Boy in the Girls' Bathroom. The first theme is pride and self-esteem. Throughout the story, the idea of being proud of yourself and having pride and feeling self-esteem or having a lack of self-esteem is really felt throughout the entire book, and that sort of changes from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. The second theme that I see throughout the story is the theme of friendship and bullying. There's a lot of opportunity for Bradley and Jeff to create new friendships, but there's also this back and forth between, Bradley bullying other students. And then we find out throughout the story that there are other students who are bullying Bradley as well. So tossing back and forth from all the characters' points of view, you definitely see the theme of friendship and bullying as well. And the last component of a good story retell is the point of view. And this story is told from the third person point of view, which means that there's a narrator who's telling the story for us. And this final page is just a list of the websites and resources where I found some of the graphics and images that I used to support my project.